Food security in the Philippines. Achieving our goal of ending global hunger often means providing food for people, but we know that more is needed to ensure people. So what do you mean by food security? Food security, as defined by the Food and Agriculture Organization, is a situation that exists where all people have physical, social, and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food that meets their dietary need and food preferences for an active and healthy lifestyle at all times. It exists in 4 dimensions. First, food availability. Second, economic and physical access to food. Third, food utilization and stability over time. The Philippines, located in the middle of the Pacific, has experienced several threats to food security over past few years. Food supply has been gravely affected by a string of natural calamities that have been rendered farmer crops unusable, while problems caused by the lack of adequate infrastructure have posed an unnecessary and formidable challenge to farmers. A growing income between the upper and lower classes has hampered proper access and utilization to food. Here are some causes in each of the dimensions. First, food availability. The economy of the Philippines is heavily dependent on agriculture. Most of what constitutes food security in the country depends on the agricultural sector. Therefore, challenges faced by Filipino farmers and fishermen often have detrimental effect on the food security in the country. The Philippines is full of fertile lands ready to be cultivated for agriculture. The inconsistency of supply due to external disruptions from both controllable and uncontrollable factors that pose a challenge to food availability in the country. The prevalence of natural calamities is one of the factors that contribute to food insecurity in the Philippines. Another factor that contributes to the inconsistency of food supply in the market is the lack of accessible road that link farmers to retailers. The notable absences of farm to market road, which are national road that connects farms and coastal area to main highways, renders farmer unable to transport their goods. The inefficiency on this front is an unnecessary burden for farmers and fisherfolk who, instead of traversing these roads, decided not to spend money and energy trying to bring their products to the market and instead let their product go to waste. It brings loss that these farmers cannot afford and traps them in an ignominious cycle of poverty and hardships. Second, food access and stability. The biggest challenge to accessing food in the Philippines is the lack of income due to unemployment. Most are reported to be food insecure in this area cite lack of income, lack of regular job, and droughts and natural calamities as main reasons for going hunger. Food utilization. Proper food utilization ensures that consumed food must have a positive nutritional impact on people, and people must be informed of storage and hygiene practice, individual health and water and sanitation, and feeding and sharing practices. In a country with the highest food price in the region, only those who have sufficient income will be able to afford nutritious food. Those with the lower incomes will have to settle for something less costly or something with nothing at all. With targeted effort towards public information campaign around nutritious and the completion of the necessary public transport infrastructure the country needs, many of the issues around food insecurity in the Philippines could be alleviated once farmers are able to produce and sell freely and people are able to afford food that nourish them properly. This aspect of poverty in the Philippines can be effectively addressed and eliminated.